Hey everyone, appreciate you all being here at USA Crypto Group for this AMA session. We have a project called BitRival with us today. BitRival is set out to lead the gaming industry and allow you to earn real-world rewards in crypto by simply playing your favorite games. So with that being said, I'd like to welcome the team. Pleasure to have you guys back on. If you guys can start out introducing yourself, talking about your team, and giving us a bit of insight into your background experience.
Yeah, do you want to go first, Spencer?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I'll go first, and then when we get to the talking, you can take over for the app, and I can take whatever else after that. But yeah, so my name is Spencer. I'm American. I live in the Midwest in Ohio. My screen name is Shepherd. We all have kind of these gamer tags too in the project, just because we're all gamers and we're all excited about gaming. But I've been kind of a professional project manager for a number of years now. My professional background is in aerospace tech and in contracts. So managing software programs or tech acquisition for some pretty large customers. I've been in crypto for a pretty long time, I want to say since 2019-ish. Started initially as a trader, and in private groups, kind of like this one, and kind of grew more on the dev side, working with other groups and learning more about how blockchain works. I've also been an avid gamer for a long time. It's really just kind of like part of my blood, I guess, like something that I grew up with. I've always thought that games tell the best stories. And I think it's a really good way to pass time and spend time with your friends. So we're really excited to bring those passions together because blockchain, we believe, is kind of the future of technology and finance. But to be able to marry that with our passion for gaming, I think is a really big thing.
Yeah, thanks for that, Spence. My name's Jamie. I'm the co-founder, along with Spencer, of BitRivals. And my experience is in design and development. So I'm a contractor, freelancer. I work for agencies all up and down the UK, various clients ranging from companies like Disney, lots of large retail stores in the UK, like the big ones, Walmart, for example, in America. Working with companies, small startups, right through to multi-billion-dollar businesses, and helping them create digital products. So I kind of have a very broad range of experience, ranging from the very start of a project, the mock-ups, the prototyping, the UX and UI designs for that, right through to the actual creation of those applications. So my job within the business is to actually manage and contribute towards the building of the application, which we're going to demo to you today, which is sort of the core of BitRivals. I'm from the UK, as I said before, the middle of the UK, Yorkshire. If you're a Brit, you'll no doubt recognise my accent. And I am also an avid gamer. I'm in that age bracket where gaming was it's very nostalgic for me. Since I got my first Sega Mega Drive and Nintendo 64, it's something that's been very close to me for many years. And the whole team has a huge passion for gaming, so which obviously is important if you're working on a gaming project for as long as we've been working on it. As we said earlier, we had an AMA with you almost 2 years ago, before we even had a product. We spent the last 2 years actually working on that product. So we're really excited to show you that today. Do you want us to just kind of lay out what our kind of format is for the AMA? Because we kind of have like a set way that we do it. Would that be okay?
Yeah, appreciate the introduction there, guys. Yeah, definitely. You guys can go ahead and present it in the format that you guys feel comfortable with. But before we do that, though, I'd like to ask you guys. Apparently you guys are avid gamers, but what really inspired you guys to create BitRival? Get into the gaming industry. Were there things that you guys see out there that you want to improve upon? What were the core aspect that inspired you guys to build this out?
Yeah, it's a good question. As Spencer said, we've been in crypto for a while. Myself, because I'm a programmer, and it's important to learn new technologies, and we both believe that it is the future of finance. And so, as a programmer, it's important to learn these new frameworks. And we were kind of around at the start of this boom of play-to-earn games coming out, games like Axie Infinity that were coming out. And we were really excited about that prospect, kind of a marrying of two of our favorite things, crypto and gaming. You can't really get better than that. It's a no-brainer. But actually what we found was that we didn't really enjoy the games that were being put out there. We already played games like Apex Legends and League of Legends. Spencer and I met through gaming. I'm a big Apex Legends player. I couldn't really see myself, finishing work and sitting down and playing Axie Infinity for a few hours. That's not really what I envisioned play-to-earn to be for me. I saw it as passive earning, whereas really it's quite active because I'm having to force myself to play these games. And plus, we'd already spent thousands. Well, I think my wife would probably divorce me if she knew how much money I'd spent on Hearthstone. The amount of money that you put into these games, you can't take that out. It's stuck in that game, and you don't want to move from those games. So, we looked at this and we were frustrated with it. We were also frustrated with the lack of quality, the lack of real projects being finished. Web3 games that were just concepts, doing raises and then disappearing, doing raises and launches based on Unity demos that were never really finished. And that to us was a problem. So the concept of bit rivals really comes from that frustration. We talked about it a lot, and we asked a simple question: why can we not apply this same play-to-earn model that these Web3 games have and just apply them to games that already exist? Games that already have millions and millions of players. I mean, you're talking some of these games have hundreds of millions of accounts. Why can we not apply exactly the same models but to games that already exist, games that we want to play? So that's really where sort of the inspiration for Bit Rivals came from for us.
Yeah, I actually read all your 40-page white paper. And
wow.
actually,
Congrats. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I did. I was talking to Mike. I was like, God damn, 40 pages. But I had to read it. I'll tell you what, I'm impressed. The layout, the way you guys think. You guys touch on almost every single detail. If I was an investor, I would, as I'm reading along, and I would flip to the next page or etc. And I was like, there's my answer. And you guys, so I encourage everyone who had not had a chance to read the white paper, do so. Very well put together. But like you mentioned there, Fox, I think what really differentiates, what I'm actually really intrigued is you guys integrating the AAA games that already exist out there, like you just mentioned, and allow gamers to actually earn rewards, games that have been playing, that's popular games out there that I really enjoy playing. So you guys have figured out a way how to, I guess, monetize that, allow people to monetize that through your ecosystem. Very impressive, very intrigued. So yeah, great to have you guys here. So Fox, you guys, presented how you guys feel comfortable present it, okay? And during the presentation, I don't want you to go like 100% all the way, but maybe if I have a question, can I stop you between? I think that's probably the best format there.
Absolutely fine. Yeah, no worries. Just interject whenever you feel necessary, and we can answer any questions. But I will be talking you through the app today. Just a little bit of backstory. Prior to our first AMA with you, when we sort of started putting the concept of this together, we piqued the interest of DAOmaker, who helped build sort of the tokenomics and some of the sustainability model for the actual application for the ecosystem. And they were pretty adamant that they wanted us to build a proof of concept, because it is one of those things where, like, how does that work? How are we getting the information from the game and giving you rewards for it? How does that work? So we created a proof of concept for them, and that proof of concept over the past 2 years has become a fully working live product that is being used by thousands of gamers already. So that's what I'm going to be showing you today. It's a Web 2 platform. We're now going through the raise, and that is to then sort of, move into the Web 3 side of things. But the thing that I show you today, it'll be easy for you to see how the Web 3 side of things slots into that. So am I free to just go ahead and share my screen? And,
yes.
How do I do that on here? Do I need to turn video off? Nope. There we go, share screen. Let me just make this a little bit smaller so people can see. How's that looking?
It looks perfect to me. I
Yeah?
can see it. Yes.
Good. I assume everybody else can see it from that as well. And if you can't see it, don't worry. What I'm talking about, it's not too complex. You'll get it from what I'm saying. So in short, just a quick overview of what BitRivals is, just kind of to summarize. BitRivals is an ecosystem that allows gamers of all skill levels, of all time constraints, to earn crypto and rewards from playing games that they already play. So it's currently a web app, which means it's incredibly inclusive. You can access this right now if you wanted to and sign up. We have lots of people using it already, so feel free to sign up. And like I say, it's browser based, which means that it's accessible on anything that has internet connection in the browser. So if you want to play Call of Duty on the Xbox and sit on the couch with it on your phone, you can do that. If you want to play Fortnite on the Nintendo Switch and sit on the couch with your tablet, you can. The options are unlimited. There is complete inclusivity. It's not designed to be installed onto your software. There's no kind of installation. It's just something that runs alongside the games that you play. So it's non-intrusive. It doesn't pop up anywhere. There's no pop-ups. It just runs in the background. And in fact, you can actually close the browser once you've started the gaming session, which I'll explain in a little bit. So if you do actually go on this, you'll notice you'll need to create an account. You can create an account in seconds. You can just log in with Discord, Twitch, or create an account with an email. We don't hold anything personal about you as a player. The only thing we keep is your email, which we need obviously for your account access and also to alert you if you were to win anything. And then everything else that we collect about you is only really useful for us as a platform. We collect information about the way that you play in a game, and that's obviously useful to us, but not really useful to anybody else. So once you've created an account, you'll be greeted with a dashboard. I've obviously already created an account. And you can see that there are currently 2 ways in which you can earn through the platform right now. And this is all working. It's all live. It all works perfectly fine. We've got lots of people using it. And you can see we've got 12 AAA games currently integrated into the app. So we recently got the go-ahead from Riot. Riot, as you know, obviously the developers of Valorant and League of Legends and Teamfight Tactics, to get access to their player data. So we've just integrated League, and that's been a huge success. It's been really popular in our communities. And these are all live. It's as you are playing these games, information is being fed into the platform and you're being rewarded for it. So, for example, if you're playing Valorant, you'll be getting points for kills, points for bomb defusals. If you're playing Rocket League, you'll be getting points for goals, saves, and things like that. That's one way in which you can earn, but there's also a second way which you can earn. I'm not going to go too far into this, but just know that there are other options. We understand that not everybody wants to sit and play, sweaty esports games, and maybe want to play something a little bit more casual, like Stardew Valley, for example, an indie game. So what we've actually got here is an integration into the Steam Achievements API. So if you've got a Steam account, you'll know that as you're playing a game, you'll get these little pop-ups saying you've completed achievement for doing something in the game. They're really meaningless, I suppose, on the platform. Bragging rights, I guess. We actually make them meaningful. So you can actually earn from completing achievements. And we have a system an algorithm in the back end that calculates how much these achievements are worth, basically, how many points they're worth. And we have a bunch of games on there now, but really what this means is that any game that has achievements can be integrated into BitRivals. Right now, we just do it on a request basis. I'm not going to go through the entire Steam library and add every single game. We have a channel in Discord where people request games, essentially. So somebody comes on and says, hey, I've just bought Red Dead Redemption 2. Can you put it on there? Yeah, no problem. We can do that. And it just takes a couple of seconds to add that game. It really is a very quick process. Right now, it's only Steam integrated, but before launch, we'll also be integrating Xbox and PSN, as well as EA and Epic as well. So there's plenty of ways in which you can earn. Just a quick point before I carry on about the difference between the token and the rival points. So there are 2 different currencies. You've got the rival point, which is our in-app currency. It doesn't have any value. It's used to do things within the app, which I'll explain. And then there's the actual token, which is the Web3 side of things, which is obviously going to be integrated later. So I'm going to go back to Play to Earn. because this is sort of the real bread and butter of the system. And I'm going to go into League of Legends, and I'm going to show you this from the perspective of somebody who is a gamer, essentially. And I'm going to try and talk about it from an investments perspective as well, but really just showing you how a gamer would interact with this system. So once you click on League of Legends, if you're a new player, you will need to connect your account. That's really easy to do. It takes a couple of seconds. You just type in your username and your region. It depends, obviously, which game you're connecting, but it's a very, very simple process. And once you're connected, you can start an earning session and go ahead and play the game. So I've actually played some games prior to this call. And as you can see, it's pulled that match history from Riot servers. So this is my account. Spencer's probably got some snarky comment to say about how I lost the past 3 games, but I'm not very good at League of Legends, but it's just nice and quick to get some information in.
Hey, you did win one this time, so
I won with Garen.
Yeah,
I just spammed R, and it just it was great. But you can see that it's pulled through my recent match history, and it's assigned me some rival points for my performance in those matches in real time. So I can actually drill down into this match and view the specific statistics that got me those points. So you can see that for my 22 assists, I got 132 rival points. For my double kills, which I got 1 of, I get 25 rival points. And in fact, if you go into payouts, you can see the entire payout table for this game. So, all of these stats have different payouts. Depending on the game, we'll have different things. If you're playing chess, it'll be checkmates. If you're playing Battlefield, it'll be headshots, sniper kills, revives. There's all kinds of different schemes for each game. This is all balanced through AI. So we use something called TensorFlow for any techies out there that know what TensorFlow is. It's a pretty popular JavaScript library for machine learning. And we feed everything that comes in, every earning instance into that. And what that does is it dynamically adjusts these rival point values to make sure that each game is as level as possible. So there's not any game that pays out, ridiculous amounts compared to other ones. Everything is fairly balanced. Of course, some people are going to earn more than others because some people are better players, but you're not going to get games that are more overpowered. And the AI actually plays a little bit more into stuff that Spencer can talk about later on with the tournament system, where we have a massive advantage over traditional tournament systems in Web 2 and Web 3, but we can cover that a little bit later on. So just going back to the earn, as well as having, your matches being paid for in rival points, you've also got a bounty system. So every 24 hours, you get new bounties for every game. These are kind of one-off things that you need to complete during the day, and if you can complete them, you can claim the token prize for that. So, in this case, I have to get 25 assists. Once I claim this, it would update, and I would be able to claim this if I got 25, get 3 triple kills. And you can see that there are some locked as well, which I'll explain in a second. And then there's also an earning cap. So we have a cap on how much you can earn per day in rival points. There's a few reasons for that. First of all, to keep things fair so people can't snowball, but also because when Spencer and I created BitRivals, we created it as we're an LLC, we're a real company. We want to generate real world revenue from traditional revenue generating methods. Things like multimedia ads, videos, watch this video to double your points, microtransactions, affiliate links, all kinds of ways that this can be monetized. And that means that we need traffic, we need volume. So we need people to keep coming back to claim their points. We don't want people to, start a session, leave for 3 weeks and come back and claim 100,000 points. So this keeps people on the platform, basically. But you can see that can be increased as well, and I'll talk a little bit about that. I think I've covered everything on this page. But just a quick note, this is all Web 2 right now. With the Web 3 side of things, it's quite easy to see how you will also be able to earn tokens as well as points in this. You can kind of substitute some things out. You can see how it works. So I can claim these points, and these points will be added to my total rival point balance. What can I do with those points? Well, right now there's 2 ways. There's going to be a lot more ways that you can use them, but right now there are 2. The first one is the leaderboard system. I know that we had a question in that about that in the chat. So we have an overall leaderboard system with a seasonal prize. So you can see there's $250 season prize for season 4. We've reset in January, and you can see people are already sort of battling out to get to the top of the leaderboards, people getting very close to each other. It's quite fun. And then there's also specific games. So each game has its own leaderboard as well. So there is that. But the main way in which rival points are spent is through our raffle system. So we do 4 raffles per week. We do 2 on a Wednesday and 2 on a Sunday, and this gives gamers the opportunity to win prizes for their points, for the time that they put into the game. This is the reward side of things. So you can see that we give away, things like in-game currencies, Steam vouchers, Xbox gift cards, PSN, Amazon vouchers. Before this, we were doing gamer gears, headsets, keyboards. We did consoles. We've given over thousands and thousands of dollars worth of prizes to gamers over the years. And the way that you do it, you enter these is simple. Each one has a price. This one costs 5,000 points for me to enter. So I've got 15,000 points in my balance from the games that I've played over the past however many days. And I can go ahead and use that RP to purchase tickets for that raffle. Once that raffle timer ends, a random ticket is picked from a hat, and whoever's picked is the winner. So the more tickets you purchase, the more chance you've got of winning, basically. So that's how we reward people. And again, this is the Web 2 side of things. This will still exist when Web 3 comes out, but this is a really important component of it. And we have a channel in our Discord as well, a winners channel that's just full of people posting screenshots of the things that they've won, and it's a really good thing to look at. If you ever get a chance to join our community, just have a look through that. So I suppose a question that might be on your mind is, how is this sustainable from a business perspective? I mean, you're giving out seasonal leaderboard prizes, you're giving out 4 raffles per week. How is this sustainable? Well, there is actually a premium model that we have for this app. You might have noticed before that there were tasks that were locked and that there was only a 3,000 per day RP cap that could be expanded to 10,000. And there are also premium raffles. So if I wanted to get access to better raffles and I wanted to get access to more tasks, I would have to pay for that. So we have a premium subscription of $3.99 per month. Once you pay that, you become a premium member, you get access to more of the system. And that's really what gets people hooked. We bring people in for the free side of it. They realize there's much more that they can get if they pay. And this is how we generate revenue. And we have enough rival premium members to cover the costs of our hosting, which is relatively cheap anyway, but also cover the costs of our raffles as well. So as a business, we break even. This is a stable platform, which I think is really important in Web3, because we shouldn't have to rely on our crypto assets to keep the business running. We should have ways of generating revenue to keep things going and not have to rely on pulling tokens from places and selling them and that kind of stuff. So when it comes to the Web3 side of things, this $3.99 per month subscription will actually go. And instead, what it will be is you have to hold the token in order to access these features. And we're going to add loads more features to this. We've got tournament systems, we've got 1v1 wagers, we've got challenges, all kinds of stuff in the pipeline, and that's all in the light paper. Not really light, but the 40-pager. Lots of stuff in there about what the plans are. But essentially, you will need to hold the token in order to get access to that. And that's really unique. It's really unique because we target an audience that traditional Web3 games don't target, and that's the general everyday gamer that doesn't understand Web3. If you have a Web3 game that's coming out, the people that are interested in that are investors and gamers that understand and have education in crypto. That's it. We're unique in it. We have 3. We have those 2 still, but also we have a third one, which is just, like I said, the everyday gamer, the people that just want to play League of Legends and Apex Legends and want to earn from that. That's unique because that means that every single gamer that joins BitRivals is a potential holder of the token. So what will happen is we will create an onboarding process for them that creates a wallet in the background using something like Magic Wallet, and they pay whatever it will be, X amount for lifetime access. And what that's doing actually is purchasing the token and putting it in their wallet. So to them, it's kind of like purchasing an Xbox Game Pass or a EA access or a battle pass on Apex Legends. It's just you click a few buttons and pay for it. Boom, I've got access to it. The free part of it is the hook that gets people in. They start to play. They realize that actually they could get much more from this, and there's better, less contested raffles. How do I do that? I just need to pay this. Fine, I'll pay it. And you can see that people pay it already because we've got a lot of premium members already. They then purchase the token, and they are the ultimate diamond hands because they don't. Their intentions of purchasing the token was not to sell it; it was to get access to the platform. And in reality, they also don't have much education on how to sell it either. So every gamer that comes onto Bit Rivals is a potential holder of the token, which is obviously very good for you as an investor. I don't think there's anything more I can talk about right now. Like I said, this is live. You can go on this right now. If you play any of these games, I recommend you sign up, connect your account, play it, see it in action. It's all instantaneous. It pulls the data through. It's really quick. It's really easy to sell. It's not something that is complicated. It's not a security token or some kind of artificial intelligence token that's kind of ambiguous about what it is. People get it. It's gaming. It's rewards. It's really easy to sell. And even just from doing our AMAs recently, we've not marketed this, by the way. We've just focused on creating a product with value. So we've only just started to do marketing. We're doing some small Zealy campaigns, some Quest End stuff. But even just through the AMAs, we've already seen our player base quadruple. And that's from people in the AMAs telling their kids telling their friends. And that's the nature of these types of projects among gamers. They're viral. They spread quickly, particularly, when people use them on stream. If you're a streamer, for example, this is a no-brainer to use. You're not going to get much from Twitch unless you've got thousands of followers. So you may as well use this. And usually we have a referral system built in, so use your referral code to generate more points. So these things tend to propagate very, very quickly. But like I say, I recommend that you go on it. There's more stuff to it. There's, like I say, there's a whole bounty system. There's a whole discovery part. There's a whole profile where you can collect badges. There's tons of stuff to this. I recommend that you take a look when you get a chance. But I think as a demonstration, I think that covers pretty much everything, Spencer. Unless you've got anything you wanted to add to that I've missed out, I may have done.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you going through all of that. That was really well done. I can talk about some of the future products that we're bringing to this as well in the document.
Yeah, I think if you could talk about that and then talk a little bit about sort of our journey over the past few years and the partners that we've got and the launchpads and that sort of stuff that we've got lined up. And then also obviously the tokenomics and the economy. Is there any questions so far, by the way, before we carry on?
I do have a question, so that way
Sure.
the community can understand it better. You spoke on the AAA games. Let's break it down. What are the AAA games? Let the community know what are those games, because I think there's value to AAA games, and for those that may not play games, they don't know what that is. What is AAA?
So AAA are the big studios. Apex Legends, Rocket League, Dota. These people have, I think Dota has 1.6 million people playing it right now. Currently, at this moment, right now, 1.6 million people. So AAA games are big studios, reputable studios, with already existing fan bases, I suppose you could say. The Battlefield, for example, which is obviously a franchise which has millions and millions of players. So that would be the definition of a AAA game, whereas you'd have an indie game studio, which might just be a few people building kind of like a hobby game, a smaller game. AAA games are huge. They have really, a lot of resource, a lot of staff and headquarters all over. And, Apex Legends, I think, started off as another game. I can't remember what it was called now. Somebody in chat might know what it was. Titanfall, it was. So they're all big companies. And in terms of data, the way that the data works is that they all give out information about their players for one very specific reason, and that is it's free marketing. Majority of these games are free. You know, Apex Legends, you can download it, you can play it for free. Valorant, you can download it, you can play it for free. They make their money through you buying their battle passes, through you purchasing their skins and their heirlooms and their things that you can put on, you know, skins for your guns. So in order to remain stable as a business, they need the volume. So what they do is they give out these APIs. Not all of them are publicly accessible. Some of them, like Riot, we have to apply and we have to be vetted for that. But what that does is it creates an ecosystem of applications around those games, and that in turn drives traffic to them. So for them, this is free marketing, because people are obviously, you know, playing their games through our platform and playing more of it, and that in turn is potential conversions for various microtransactions within their games.
Appreciate that. No, I wanted you to put more emphasis on that, because so the community can understand how what are you guys doing and how easy it is for you guys to onboard gamers, because these AAA games are very popular games. Like you have Fortnite, Battlefield.
Yep.
These are the games that with hundreds of thousands up to millions existing players already. So what they're doing is pretty much pulling these API from these games here onto their ecosystem and allow you to earn rewards and points and cryptocurrency on their platform. So they're not integrating games that are just recently made. I mean, the user base is already existing out there. Very crucial.
Exactly.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, and it's a good point. You know, Web2, Web3 games coming out, they have a player base of 0. We have a player base already of literally hundreds of millions. Apex Legends has 65 million active accounts. I think, like I say, Counter-Strike is one of the most played games in the world. Dota is one of the most played games in the world. Hundreds of millions of accounts on that. Even chess. You'd be surprised at how many millions of people play chess on chess.com. So we're not
huge.
Absolutely huge. Yeah, hundreds and hundreds of millions of people already playing this. And like I say, that means that community building for us is going to be very easy, because this speaks to all of those communities.
Exactly. You know, I just started playing on chess.com, so I may have to. I actually enjoy chess a lot, so that's awesome.
I do too. Yep. Hook it up, give it a go. But do you want to? Should we move over to you, Spence? Talk a little bit about the other stuff. Do you want me to get the Doxxed up and we can talk through that?
Yeah, I do have it up. I can
nice.
share my screen if you want.
Yep. I'll turn. I'll stop sharing mine. Go for it.
Hey.
Oh, Manny, your voice has got a bit high pitched.
Apologies, it's my son. Actually,
somebody step on your nuts.
Yeah, that's my son. Actually, Fox, you forgot to mention about our community as well, because there might be certain community members that not have a possibility to play the games or have the commitment to play games. So actually, our community can earn rival points inside our Discord by doing various tasks like supporting us by playing game nights and stuff like that.
I feel like this is the main reason that you're on this call, is because you remind me of this, because I forget about it every single time. What Manny's talking about there is that we have an economy built into our Discord, so that even if you don't want to play any of these games, or you don't want to do achieve to earn, but you still want the possibility to win rewards in crypto, you can still earn points through our inbuilt economy in Discord. And the way that you do that is just by chatting. You just chat, you earn tokens, and then you can use those tokens to buy rival points, and they're basically deposited into your account. So it's just another way that we can get people involved without them necessarily having to be hardcore gamers. But we'll move over to Spencer now, who's got the rest of the bits up.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think one of the other important things to mention is that it's not just the earning platform, although I think that's kind of the core capability, is to be able to pull these APIs and hold players' gaming data all in one place. And we kind of consider it the ultimate gaming profile because it's syncing across all of the games that you play, and also incorporating Web3 and the Web3 games as well. There's no other platform that really does that. But I do want to talk about some of the things that we're kind of developing in the background that will be released in the future. And this is all in the white paper. You can go through it. So I won't belabor every single point of this. I'll probably be skipping through some of it somewhat fast, but to give you kind of a general overview. So one of these is going to be the arena. This is our competitive system. So unlike what Jamie demoed, which is just you as an individual playing games, earning points, tracking your progress in those games, this is competitive. This is pitting players against each other. And a lot of people are familiar with the tournament system. We'll have some unique functions, but also some things that you're used to seeing in other tournament platforms. There will be the ability for people to make their own tournaments, or for clubs, sponsors to host their own tournaments. But we'll also have tournaments that are sponsored by bit rivals. One of the unique things in this is actually kind of a 1v1 construct that we were working on building. So instead of playing a bracket or something like that, you just take another friend, and if you want to challenge them to a match, or to see like who's going to get the most kills in the next match, you can both basically determine the terms for your challenge. So you'll put up a wager, and that wager can be really whatever you want. It can be rival tokens, it can be Bitcoin, BNB. But then basically the winner of that wager, the winner of the challenge, wins basically the pot from the wager. And then we take a small token percentage of that, which will basically go back into the treasury for rewards. And if it's tokens, for token burn, or back into the actual the rewards pot. So we think that'll be in a kind of unique way that players can interact with the platform, and also the competitive nature of players wanting to challenge their friends kind of drives both volume and activity for the platform, but engagement for the user. All right, let me go ahead and kind of skip through this. This process just talks about how the prize pools work and how those funds flow back to the user, to the tournament creators, and to the rewards wallet. We talked about the rewards system. So that's what Jamie demoed. It's basically using those APIs, and that's the core of the platform. We'll get to this in a second with the NFTs. I'll just touch very briefly on this because there's probably going to be questions about how the token side of it works. Like the question is, if people are playing, are you just giving out free tokens to them? The answer is no. It's not as simple as you play a game, you earn tokens, and the token dilutes, and they sell it, and then there's no more tokens. It's basically a traditional play to earn model that uses NFTs. So users have to purchase an NFT in order to have the ability to play. And that NFT lasts for a certain number of games before it decays, essentially. So you have earning potential that is based on your actual performance in that game. So not everyone will also earn at the same rate. It will depend on the individual player to see what they earn in those games. And then to extend it, you can spend more rival tokens. But the important thing here is that there's always going to be a purchase of the token and the NFT before players are able to earn through the system. And then among this, like all of the other things across the platform, whether it's the launchpad or other NFT sales, or the arena system that basically feeds back into that rewards wallet, it's all a balancing act to make sure that what's going out isn't more than what's coming in. And we think that based off of our revenue models, it's actually going to balance more on what's coming in. Raffle system, Jamie talked about this. There's loads of ways for us to expand this in the future with partnerships with gaming companies. So if, say, for instance, you are a small gaming company that makes gaming chairs, this is an excellent way for them to advertise to a large number of users. So we would partner with them to basically, they would offer their product for free to us, and then we would offer it as a raffle to the users to promote them. And that's one of the ways that we are partnering with different companies to provide more utility to this system. The Loot Store will be our NFT store. So this is where you get those utility NFTs that will essentially allow people the ability to play. But one of the cool things that I think we're designing with this is allowing the players to customize the way that they're earning. So as Jamie showed, a lot of those different stats in the platform are for very specific actions in the game. So you can earn points based off of how many headshots you get, how many revives, or how many heals you do, how many kills, or like if it's chess, it could be specific moves, right? Like checkmate, things like that. We will have unique NFTs that allow players to earn more for their play style. And we think this is something unique that no one's really done before. But say like a sniper rifle NFT will allow you to earn more points for every headshot you get. So this way we're incentivizing people to not only buy NFTs that have certain rarities, but to interact more with the platform in the way that they earn. NFTs will also have different utilities across the arena system to allow people to have different tiers of tournament hosting, for the launchpad to allow people to have like lifetime access to launches. And then we'll also have vanity NFTs that are basically for cosmetics in the platform of different degrees of rarity, some limited edition, some one-offs that we think will increase the amount of value that's coming around this NFT system. All right. Talk very briefly about this. This is basically our system to help people buy the tokens more easily. It's really just a pancake swap mirror, but we will simplify it on the website. And then there's also a DeFi system for staking and farming for the liquidity pool. So people will be able to earn staking rewards by locking their tokens up for a certain amount of time and earn passive income, even if they're not gaming. And then finally, Rival Starter. This is our launchpad, and it works like a traditional launchpad on the user's end. You buy the token, you have to hold or stake that token of a certain amount to be able to get access to different raises in tiers. Now, the question is, there's a lot of launchpads out there. What makes this distinctive? We think that we want to focus on Web3 games and kind of indie games with this, right? So we think that the distinctive we're bringing to the market is the ability to basically be that technology partner for the game. So it's not just helping them raise funds, it's helping them to develop APIs or SDKs that they can use to work alongside the AAA games on our platform, and then bring a lot of those traditional AAA players to their Web3 game. And we think that's really cool because it's not just bringing money to developers, but it's bringing them an audience who are invested in games and want to play them. So we think this will be really attractive for future games that want to do raises, who will basically sponsor and incubate. And part of this as well will include, say, like strategic rounds or private rounds that are available for the Rival Council, which is the DAO that will be based around the Rival token. The Discover page, Jamie talked about this a bit, but basically this is, think like Steam Store without actually being a store. It's like a listing site for games to have them on one centralized place. And this will be Web 2 games right alongside Web 3 games to basically create an ultimate library of games that no one's really made before, right? Because you do have some, like GameFi has a good library that's Web 3, and Steam is a great library of Web 2 games, but no one's really put it all together into one place to build like the ultimate library of games. And then finally, I'll just talk about the token really quickly. You can see the distribution here. The total supply will be 1 billion, 0% tax on transactions. That's really important because there's going to be a lot of small transactions, people buying NFTs, wagers, those sorts of things. And for centralized exchanges, this will be on the Binance Smart Chain. A little bit on vesting. You see the numbers in the next slide. It talks about the vesting for the public sale, the IDO round, and the private round, which you guys will be able to have access to. Price per token here, the discount's essentially 26% for the private round. And then vesting, so team, for instance, is 0% TG unlock and a cliff for 12 months. And you can see the other parts of the token here for vesting. And then I guess I'll touch briefly on marketing. We have pretty big marketing plans. A lot of this is going to do with like Quest platforms, KOLs, and then also basically gaming advertising. So Twitch streamers, YouTube streamers, those sorts of things, to bring both crypto investors and gamers to the actual platform to grow the Web 2 and Web 3 side concurrently up until launch. We can answer more questions on specifics, but we do have a fairly large marketing budget pre-launch, essentially more than 100,000, 100K USDT, to be able to push this really hard as we move to the listing of the actual token. And then real quick, I want to talk about partners and kind of touch on our journey so far. So we've been building for a long time, bringing in more and more strategic partners. And I think that we will have a really good IDO round. Right now, we have contracts from Bull Perks and from GameFi and DAOmaker just recently. Some of the biggest launchpads, they're all tier 1 launchpads. We want to make sure that we're only working with the best partners that we can. And then on exchanges, we have offers from Gate, MEXC, and BitGet, but we're also potentially working on a larger exchange, which I guess I'll keep on the lowdown until that's actually signed. So yeah, that's really it. You feel
a little bit about the roadmap?
The roadmap, yeah, we can cover it briefly. Again, all of this is in the light paper, so if you guys want to read through it and get things more in detail, it's all there and available. Feel free. We basically define this as phases rather than specific dates, but there are dates here you see on the phase 2. Phase 1 is all complete. All of these things are things that we've already done. So over the past year and a half, almost 2 years, we've been busy actually building smart contracts, building the website, building the tokenomics and strategic partnerships. It's taken a long time in the bear market to kind of put that all together. But now that we have, I think we've reached a point of critical mass where we can actually move forward to listing. And we're really excited to push forward, build the hype to a point where we can actually launch the token and integrate the Web3. So you see here some dates. The private funding round basically happens throughout this month. And we'll be doing pretty big marketing, KOL push, quest campaigns, etc. The next month is when we're doing the IDO sales. So those are through those tier 1 launchpads that I mentioned. And then in April is the plan for actual TG and listing on at least one tier 1 centralized exchange. And probably a mix of the ones that I mentioned, and PancakeSwap as the target decentralized exchange. So I think that's really it. Happy to answer any questions or talk about anything else that you guys want to talk about. But I think that's a pretty comprehensive overview of where we've been, where we are, and kind of where we're going.
Yeah, and I think I saw absolutely tons of questions in the chat.
Yeah, we do have a lot of questions there, but I do want to touch on one thing really quick, Spence. I appreciate your explanation and touch on a lot of the different topics there. But one thing that you mentioned is actually very crucial, is that your sustainability model. And I think a lot of the games, they actually missed that. One thing you said was that you want to make sure that the revenue or the rewards that are going out is not more than what is coming in. And it's actually very crucial. And with a lot of play to earn games, I see that they missed that. And it seems like you guys are very mindful, and you guys thought out this plan very strategically. So now I just want to congratulate you guys on that, because a lot of games miss that, and it's very, very important to ensure that the game can actually last, right? So good job on that.
Yeah, appreciate it. And thanks for bringing it up. I talked about balancing and stuff kind of throughout, but yeah, it's important that we're continuously balancing this, right? So as the price of the token grows, as people are buying it on the market and things like that, obviously the token will have more value. So we have to continuously keep in mind what the actual dollar amount of the value is when we are generating rewards and things like that, and tying it to that rather than amount of tokens, right? Because if you say this action gets you 100 tokens, that could mean a very different thing when we launch. And then if that token grows 10 times or even more than that, 20, 50 times, in value, then people are getting a lot more for that action. So that's where some of the AI algorithms come in, but also continual testing and balancing across the entire ecosystem to make sure that the revenue flow is consistent.
Awesome. Now, I do want to talk a little bit on the arena. So what you're saying is that any individual can also create their own competition, correct?
Yeah, sorry, I was just trying to get back to that page. But yes, we want to make this very open, right? So this is going to have the ability for a bunch of different ways of doing it. So we can create our own tournaments, but we want any user to be able to come on here and create a tournament. So basically, if you're the one creating the tournament, you're also the one managing that prize pool. So if you're a club or something like that, you're coming in and saying, okay, the prize is you could put up your own prize, right? You could say the prize is going to be $100 USDT. Or you could ask any user for like an entry fee, but then the person who started that tournament is basically going to be the one to manage the playthrough of that tournament and then distribute the rewards.
And an interesting thing to raise about that. Sorry, I spoke over you there.
Oh, no, it's okay. What kind of fees are you guys earning from the pool as a host?
Yeah, so that's all in here. Basically, it's 3 to 7%, and that basically depends on the tier of the host. So as you host more tournaments, or basically your level increases while you play on the platform, that fee goes down over time. And we can also allow people to purchase NFTs to become like a premium host, to either have a lower fee or host without fees.
That's really awesome. Yeah, so let's say, we have USA Crypto Group. I'm not sure how many people are listening, but let's say if Mike is an avid gamer as well. But let's say if we put in the competition, we create a tournament for USA Crypto Group, we can certainly do that, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we want to encourage to do, right? For groups to say, wow, this is a great thing that can facilitate engagement on my platform. I'm going to put up a prize pod or have like an entry fee and then run the tournament.
I think that'd be really awesome. We do a lot of giveaway, but I'll tell you what, is this almost ready or is this ready? When can we start to create a tournament?
I think right now we're focusing on the 1v1s first before the group tournaments. But I guess, Jamie, if you want to talk more about where that is in development.
Yeah, so I mean, the 1v1 stuff, once that's in, sort of the architecture for it is there. It's just a case of doing the additional UX stuff and UI stuff, creating your own tournaments. So 1v1s would be first because that's a quicker thing for us to do. But like I said, that's kind of like the building blocks for the more complex tournaments with bigger groups of people. But there is one thing I just want to add to that quickly, and that's the advantage that we have as a tournament system over other tournament systems that are out there. So there are other tournament systems out there, but you'll see a lot of them are just dead. And there's a real simple reason for that, and that's because there's no real matchmaking with these tournament systems. It's just a case of anybody can join these tournaments, and what you tend to get is somebody very good creating brand new accounts, entering these tournaments and just wiping the floor with everybody in there. So people just don't tend to join, or they're just full of very, very good players, which is not great for the average player. What's really good about us, what puts us aside from even Web 2 tournament systems, is that we have this play-to-earn model as well. So we're collecting information about you as a player, and we can put in requirements to say that you must reach level 20, because we obviously have an XP system on our app as well. If you go on there, we have a level system. You must reach level 20 before you enter this tournament, and that means that we have enough information about you as a player to baseline your average performance and then put you in a bracket that's fair. And then also on top of that, we can look at your actual performance in a tournament and compare it to what is your baseline, and if that performance is way higher, then we know that obviously something's not right, and then that can be made void. So as a tournament system, with it being unique in that there are so many ways in which you could create tournaments, it's also completely unique in the way that it's balanced much more fair, because all of these tournament systems out there primarily focus on tournaments. That's it. They don't collect information about you as a player. All they get about you is your rank, and as we know, people can fake that. It's quite easy to create a new account.
That's very awesome. I think that's actually very important to ensure it's actually fair as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very cool, guys. I mean, I love the project. I play chess a lot. I do. I love chess, so I may have to go into your ecosystem and play on there and earn some rewards in cryptocurrency there.
Do it.
But I do have a son that he loves games. I cannot get him off games, so.
Well, we've
So
had the past AMAs we've had like, I don't know, like 50 people get their kids to just start churning out points. So we've seen a massive influx of people playing Fortnite over the past week from all these AMAs.
yeah, so and it seems like you guys have a. I think Spence, you say you guys have $100,000 for marketing as a marketing
Yep.
budget there, so that's pretty big. You have
Yeah.
Nexia talks with you guys already as well. Yeah, I mean, I love what you guys are doing. I really do. Yeah, anything else you guys want to present to us before we take any questions?
I don't think so. I think I have anything more to add to that, unless you do, Spence.
Yeah, I guess just in conclusion, basically, right? This is more than just a rewards platform or more than just a way that people can earn by playing, although that's a very core capability. What it is a gaming integration platform that integrates Web 2 and Web 3 and AAA games, indie games, and Web 3 games in a way that's really never been done before. And we think it's going to be something very unique to the market. And we're excited both about the ways that it brings in new players to these games, but also brings traditional Web 2 people into a Web 3 ecosystem. Basically acts as a gateway to bring people who would have never thought about crypto into the cryptocurrency universe. So we think that that's going to be a really, our passion for gaming, right, and our passion for blockchain, to take those together. I think it's really exciting to see that there's a way to bring people to put those two together and to bring people who haven't thought about putting those together into a system that enables them to do so.
Definitely see the you guys with the adoption for sure, especially when you bring in those AAA games where the audience may not know what cryptocurrency is and never been exposed to it, but now you have a platform that literally playing the games that they love to play onto your platform. Now you start earning cryptocurrency. So I can definitely see if your execution and you helped it with that mass adoption for sure.
Yep, exactly.
All right. And one thing I want to touch on is also you guys are CertiK audited, correct?
Correct.
So that's a bonus there. So okay, and you guys have a tentative date on when the launch day is going to be yet, or?
I don't have a exact date, but it'll be early April. I was thinking beginning of April, and I thought, wait, that's April 1st. That's not a good date to put it. So just early April sometime.
All right, April. All right. Okay, so a couple months away. That's not too far out. And I was looking at your white paper there. The initial market cap, I guess the estimate initial market cap, did I read it correctly? Around 200 something thousand only?
Yeah, I think it's like 260-ish. It's in here. I can go to the page with it. This one. Yeah, 286,000.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's very low. That market cap is basically based off of the circulating supply. So because so many of the tokens are being vested and so few are available for that initial listing, first, there's not really much sell pressure, but second, it keeps that market cap down really small.
Correct. And I've seen some questions in the room say, why are they vesting, right? But I'll tell you what, every serious project out there, every great founder out there, if you want to take your project seriously, there's always going to be vesting, guys. That's just it. It has to be fair. But vesting is a great thing. It's not only vesting for you guys, but also for the team as well, right? You don't want a project where a team can just have the tokens and dump you at the first day. So that's not good, because I did see some questions in the room regarding that as well.
Yeah, and even for the team tokens, we have a 12-month cliff on that, so we don't even see any tokens for 12 months before it starts to unlock.
Right, right. So that's a year, guys. So
Yep.
very serious team, and you guys are completely doxed, CertiK audited. Been working this project for over 2 years now. We had you guys in around 2 years ago. Actually, April. It's funny you say you guys are tentatively launching on April, but
That's fair.
I think, yeah, I think it was 2 years ago. It was in April when you guys had you guys in. So interesting. All right, guys. Well, great presentation. I love what you guys are doing. I will be following your journey for sure. I would love to see how you guys integrating the triple A's, and because I definitely see the mass adoption just because the triple A games again is not a brand new games, right? You guys have the existing user base already, so it's about strategizing and marketing, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so with that being said, Mike has been keep tracking a lot of questions in the room. We're not gonna have time to go every single question, but he's gonna come on and read some of the questions away.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Right. Thanks, Seattle. Jamie, Spence, absolutely amazing job on this entire team for this project here. It's been a long time making, and you guys have made some stand-up progress, honestly. I'm talking. I've been an avid gamer back when PC used to take floppy disks.
My PC used to have a boost button. Do you remember that?
Oh, I do. Oh my god. Wolfenstein was back on floppy disk and all that such. And started out on Counter-Strike way back then, which was beta, then 1.4, which is now CSGO, which is one of the most played for Counter-Strike.
CSGO 2 now.
Yeah, CSGO 2. I still play Rocket League, some of the newer ones there too. I never got into some of the other ones there, but being able to integrate all these games into a platform like this and earn money, just being able to market it to these players where the massive user base is already there, it's great potential, guys. Great potential. So, getting on to a few questions. Now, I know you were talking about for the tournament payouts. If you are a host, the host will divvy out the pay, if I heard that correct. Now, if the host is divvying out the pay on, to the winner, et cetera, if he's taking a cut, is there a possibility that the host could even walk away with the entire pot and not pay out? Is there any concern for that?
Yeah, I guess it depends how you run it, right? So if it's on the blockchain, those terms can all be set in a smart contract. So there's no chance that person can do that, right? I think that for traditional, so we want to have a way that people can do it in dollars, right? So they can use their credit card or use their bank account or whatever they've connected for like your traditional clubs that haven't gotten into the crypto. In that case, I suppose it's possible, but you would only do it with like a trusted or verified club, right? So the tournament organizers would need to be vetted before they're able to make that tournament.
There are also services out there where money can be held in escrow as well.
Right. Next question is about age restrictions. I know, you were just talking about having a lot of kids influx into the system, earning the points, either for themselves or for, the parents or whatever. Now, that's for the Web 2. When it comes into the Web 3 and you tie crypto into it, what's the process and is there any age restrictions on being able to earn the actual crypto? I know a lot of people are going to have to KYC through a wallet. Is that what's going to determine the age?
Yeah, so it's not the platform itself isn't limited by age, but some of the parts of the ecosystem will be just based off of laws of jurisdictions, right? So if you're not old enough to be an investor, you can't really participate in the launchpad, for instance. So you wouldn't be able to do that. But there's not necessarily any law that says that someone who's under the age of 18 can earn like a digital token. So the actual like wallet creation and play to earn side of the platform should be available regardless of age.
Very good. Let's see what else I got here. This community person had a question about the latency and performance issues. Now, everybody's rig is not the same for PC, right? Unless you're playing on PSN or Xbox, then everybody's kind of got the level playing field. So let's break this into two questions. The first question is going to be, will there be cross-gen play?
Are we talking cross-gen in tournaments or cross-gen in play to earn?
Let's talk both.
Well, right now you can do the play to earn with any console. So we've got people using Xbox, we've got people that use Nintendo Switch. Obviously, League of Legends is PC. So because it's browser based and because the APIs are across all consoles, it doesn't matter what platform you use it on. It's available to you. All of those games are available on all platforms. Crossplay on tournaments, Spencer, you'd probably be best to speak about that.
Yeah, I guess it depends how that tournament is hosted. Because if you're doing it in the platform, right? So if you're doing it like building a bracket inside the game and pitting two people against each other, then you clearly need to be on the same console unless it's a game that is like cross-gen. So if it's, I guess, like Warzone or Fortnite, for instance, you can do regardless of what people are playing on, but others you can't. So that's going to depend on the individual game. But if it's the case of you're just doing a tournament where you're comparing stats, so whoever gets the most kills, right, wins in the next game they play, then that doesn't really matter at all because we can track stats across all of the different consoles and PC and whatnot. So there's compatibility both ways.
Oh, good, yeah, because everybody knows you have a system that's limited to, say, 30 frames per second, and then you got this godlike PC, liquid cooled, that's running at 250 frames. There's going to be some performance differences there to be able to, get a little bit of a better edge, of course.
Yeah, maybe if you win a raffle for a gaming computer or some rival tokens, you could afford a better rig.
or a gamer chair. Maybe that's what you need.
Yeah, better posture of the gaming chair.
Well, they say RGB makes you better, right?
Does it not? Damn. All this money I've invested.
Oh, no. All right, so let's see here. And I know we were just on the partnerships page a little bit ago, but let's break down your best partnerships that you guys have, if you can actually speak on one being better than another, and how they are tying back into your ecosystem to where they're, kind of make the project go to the next level. I know. You were talking earlier about EA, Ubisoft, and all that stuff too. Is there plans to also bring Blizzard into their Battle.net?
Yes. So there are plans for us to add additional games. Of course, there's PUBG that we're going to be adding. There's Teamfight Tactics. There's Warzone needs to be added. But then there are also some Blizzard games. For example, Diablo 3 has an API. Overwatch is a little bit spotty at the moment. They're working on their APIs currently, but that is in our intentions to get that in there. So, in terms of partnerships, what we're really saying is that these companies give us access to their information. So there are some APIs that are open. For example, Dota 2 is a completely open API. Anybody can use it. But then there are also a lot of APIs that are locked down. You need keys. You need rate limits. You need to speak to them. You need to create these partnerships, and we've got those. So Riot is a really good example of that, where they've given us access to that information. We're not partners in the sense that they're going to start, advertising us on their website, but we're partners in the sense that there is that mutual understanding that we are using their data, and that in turn is rewarding our gamers, but also pushing gamers back towards them.
Okay, very good. Now, actually, I forgot to ask the second part of this question earlier about latency issues. For anybody who might, say you're in a tournament or even just, playing a game and you drop due to really horrible lag, your ping is way up there, your connection is bad, you lost your internet. What happens if you sever the connection in that moment when you're earning? Does your earning kind of reset back down to zero? Or are you able to kind of pick up where you left off in a sense?
Is this for play to earn or for the tournament system? Because they're two very, very different things for that, and answers for that. If you're playing the play to earn, it doesn't matter if your game crashes. The information is being fed in real time. So, if I'm playing League of Legends through Bit Rivals, every time I get a kill, as soon as I get that kill in game, that information is sent to our platform. So you won't lose any data, basically. If the game crashes or your computer crashes or blows up, it doesn't matter. That information is stored in Bit Rivals. So you don't have to worry about that. In terms of tournament systems, if you were to lag out on a tournament system, I mean, it would probably be the same way that any huge esports tournament system works. That's just, if it happens, it happens. There's nothing that can really be done about it. It would be, I guess, part of the terms and conditions, right, Spencer, that if you're taking part in a tournament and your hardware fails, that that's not the responsibility of Bit Rivals or the other players in the tournament bracket.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I guess it's hard to prepare for all circumstances because we wouldn't, from the API standpoint, really know if somebody's computer crashed or if they're just rage quitting because they weren't going to win. And that could be a way that people circumvent tournaments, right? If people only log their performance if they finish the game, then you could just exit out of it or turn off your computer before it's done. So I think that's kind of a safeguard, actually.
Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. That's very good. Now let's talk about the audit. You said you had a CertiK audit there. Was there any? I haven't got a chance to go through it. Was there any findings on the CertiK audit, and was there any remedies needed?
Yeah, so that was pretty simple. There were a few things that they wanted us to address. They were mostly administrative. You can read the audit report itself. The token contract is really simple. It's just a token on the Binance Smart Chain, right? So it's a token contract that's been used for a lot of other, like a style of contract that's been used for a lot of other projects, and doesn't really do anything too complicated. But one of the things that they wanted us to address, for instance, was the owner of the contract, because originally it was owned by just one wallet, and they showed us how to do a multi-sig ownership. So now that contract is actually signed by 3 separate wallets that are in the hands of basically our team. So 3 separate people need to basically, if any transaction is made with the contract wallet itself, need to approve it.
Oh, very simple. Okay, it's very straightforward. Nothing too crazy. Last question I'm going to ask you guys, and I know there's a lot of questions, and I do encourage the community to join into the Telegram to ask any further. But the last one I'm going to ask you could be a little hard. If you could choose one thing in the past few years that I know you guys have been building this out, what has been the most difficult task or development that you guys have had to build out on the project itself?
That is a question we have never been asked.
That is a great question.
It is. Development-wise, what was the toughest part? Probably the dynamic adjustments of points and making sure things are balanced. That was probably the toughest integration. Once we get the information from the developer, so we establish contact with the developer. So, for example, we're currently talking to Wargaming. I don't know if you know them. They're the guys that run all the games like World of Tanks. Mm-hmm. So we're talking to those guys at the moment to get their information, their data API. Once we've got that, it's really easy to integrate the game. I mean, it takes literally a day to get that game integrated. It's a very, very quick process once we've got that information. And once we apply a point scheme to it. But the hardest part, I would say, was actually the algorithm that figures out how to dynamically adjust those points to make sure that everything is, balanced between games and people are not playing Fortnite and earning 10,000 RP per game and somebody's playing Splitgate and only earning 1,000. But that's a good question, and one I might prepare for next time a little bit more.
Yeah, I think on my end for like business development, I'd say just getting the right partnerships at the right time and lining all of that up is just, it's a huge task, right? Because you have so many people that kind of projects, like these partners that want to be a part of it. Honestly, I've probably had calls with 15 plus different launchpads. I've had calls with maybe 8 different market makers, probably 10 different centralized exchanges. But we really want to go for the tier 1, the best partners that we can, right? So that's a lot of strategic positioning, a lot of meetings with people in Asian and like Australian time zones, where I'm kind of trying, taking meetings at midnight and other team members in Europe are asleep. It's a lot to coordinate, but I think that it's definitely worth it, because getting those people on board is what really makes these projects a success.
100%. Well said, guys. And it's coming to fruition here, coming closer to April, as you said here. So looking forward to seeing everything launch out, see where it goes. And I would say, you're definitely not financial advice, guys, that you'll see an investor out of me for sure, because I'm really interested and intrigued on this. Is there any last words that you'd like to leave for USA Crypto Group, guys?
Nothing I can think of that I can add other than thank you very much for catering for us again after 2 years. We really appreciate that, and hope that we explain things thoroughly enough. But I suppose that the main thing is, try it out yourself. That's what I would suggest. Head over to the BitRivals app. You can join our communities and find the links. Try it out yourself. Connect chess, connect whatever game you're playing. Give it a go. See the way that it works, the way that it rewards you in points for the things that you do, the performance in game, and how you can spend those on raffles and potentially win. Jump into the Discord. Look at the feedback that we've got from our hundreds of players and how highly they rate as a piece of software. Well, not software, but as an app. Who the heck was that? That wasn't me.
That was my wife.
But yeah, other than that, there's nothing much more from me.
Yeah, I guess all I would say is similar encouragement. BitRivals is a family, and we would love to have all of you in the family who want to join. We're trying to build a project, but we're also trying to build a community that's excited about crypto and excited about gaming. So anyone who wants to come over to our channels, sign up for an account, it's totally free to do so. Definitely try it out. And you guys get access to something pretty cool with the private sale at a 26% discount from the listing price. That's an offer that you really don't see too often. So all of you guys get to take advantage of that. We have a whitelist form to start, and we'll have more details on the actual platform for the raise.
Awesome. Great presentation, guys. Like I said, I'm going to get everything all uploaded after this to YouTube. I'll get you guys over a copy so you have it for records. And I'll even go back to the original April 2022, and I'll send you guys a copy of that one as well, just so you guys have it.
Lovely. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate your time.
Thank you as well.
Guys, have a nice weekend.
Guys, I just want to say something really quick here. So we're gonna go ahead and pin, guys. So the whitelist registration, it's we pinned that, but we're gonna pin that again. So make sure you guys register for the whitelist, and also we're gonna add the Telegram channel as well. I know there's a lot of questions out there. We're gonna get to all the questions, but make sure you guys join the TG, and we'll have that pin as well here after Mike do the prize giveaway.
Yeah, and if you've got any more questions, just ask in Telegram, and we'll. And if you want to ask any questions about the private sale, just ask, and we'll get those answered for you.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Fox, get some sleep. That's probably midnight for you already there.
Getting close, yeah.
11:30.
Crypto never sleeps, buddy.
That's it.
So neither do I.
All right, Spence. All right, Jamie as well. Well, it's been a great presentation, and I'm going to share my screen over right now for the wheel from all the contestants here. Let me see here. Grab it up on my list. I gathered everybody's name as per usual. We're going to spin them on a wheel for one lucky winner.
You should stop sharing your screen, Spence, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Let me get up my screen here. All right. I'm going to shuffle this up. While this is spinning, I'm going to remind everybody that we do have an active Twitter giveaway going on. All you got to do is go like, retweet, drop a comment there, and we'll be picking a winner tomorrow. And after this is over, we're going to have another opportunity where people can win some cash on the YouTube. Go like and drop a comment there as well. We'll be picking the winner there tomorrow as well. Sloan and Laura, congratulations. You are a cash winner today of the AMA with Bit Rivals. And we'll have everything all posted up here very shortly. Big shout out to the team for doing everything great. Everything looks good. And we hope to have you guys back in the future with some updates.
Yeah, dude. Thanks so much. Appreciate you all.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye, guys.